know that when it comes down to it, our old shakes were absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to hear and see what these new shakes are going to bring to us. Conference is coming up here soon, and so I want to go over these couple of announcements with you guys, okay? So, number one, conference is coming up, and it is so important to get to it. And I understand there's so many different reasons why you can't. And just like Mark said, okay, if you want a reason to give up, or if you want a reason why you can't, you will find it. Okay. You have to look for the reasons why you need to. And that is the biggest and most important thing that I do every single day. I'm consistently finding a reason why I need to be there. And then I do whatever it takes to make it happen. Okay. And a lot of people, they think that, Matt and I are just, okay, we can just splurge money on it no matter what. No, I fight for my conference money every single year. And it's because we're building the addition on our house. We've got 2 kids to raise. This is our full-time income. So a lot of it goes towards our bills. We're paying off debt like crazy right now. And so I don't have money just to throw into conference. I do what it takes every single year because I know that the only way that my business is ever going to explode the way that it needs to is if I make it to conference. Conference is a massive, massive deal every single year, and it is not recorded this year. So if you don't make it there, then you will not be able to. Conferences, it's the second week of January. Message me. I'll give you the details of it. Okay. We rent a hotel room together. Right now we've got Tina, myself, and Erica who have rented a hotel room. If you want a part of that, you can message me privately. We can talk about it. We can make plans to get you there and make sure that you make it there and that you're able to go to the conference with us. I know that we're going to have a vehicle while we're down there. And so you're just going to have to get in the car and go to the conference. And I'm super excited about it. So if you're ready to go all in on this business and make it happen, there is nothing like being in a room full of people who support you and care about you, and they are moving up in their life. You will never find people the way that you will find It Works people at a conference. Okay. It's just a whole nother energy, a whole nother level. Kind of goes with what I'm talking about with you guys tonight. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Number 2, team trainings. So we're doing these team trainings every single Wednesday night. Stacy has one on Thursday night. We have ours on Wednesday night. So I always recommend to make sure that you're showing up to them. And even if you're laying in bed, putting your kids to bed, even if you're taking a shower, even if you're driving, sometimes Tina drives while she hops on these, even if you're sitting in the living room and spending time with your family or whatever you have to do to make it happen. These trainings are so ridiculously important because they're going to teach you new things every single time. You're going to hear something new, and I'm going to share this story with you guys because I think it's so powerful. I was at this point in my business where I was on this crossroads where I could literally quit and walk away or keep going. And I hopped on a Zoom call on a whim, not knowing whether it was going to mean anything to me, not knowing whether I was going to learn anything, but I had a couple of girls tell me that I needed to get on this because it was fire. I got on it, and there was one thing that a leader had said that spoke to me. And she said, and for whatever reason, I had heard this multiple times, many, many times before, people saying, you just have to do more. You just have to do more, right? And the way that she said it and the influence she had over me by the time that she said that, it just clicked. And within 2 months after I hopped on that Zoom call, I went diamond. And it was because I hopped on that Zoom call, and for whatever reason, that influence that was on there and the way that she said it changed everything for me. In that moment, I started realizing what more really meant. And I started realizing what it really looked like to hustle. And that was the moment where I realized that I needed to get some grit, and I needed to focus, and I needed to make things happen. And so that's why it's so important to get on these Zoom calls on Wednesday and Thursday nights. Stacy has a lot of guests on hers, and I know ours is a lot about mindset, and it's a lot about new things that are coming out and things that are happening, and how you can shift your perspective in your business and all the things. But it's so important to get on them every single week. Okay. Number 3, the bonuses, if you did not know, they updated. And so you're actually able to earn another $1,000 bonus. We have Zoom calls that we've already done on this, and we've also dropped the rules in the chat so you can see that. If you have any questions about it, message me privately. And that way we can get you set up for this. I think almost every single one of you guys has met up with me, maybe shy from a couple of people, has met with me on video, and you know what your plan is going into this year. Maybe you're not going for a bonus, but you're going for a rank up. Maybe you're going for a bonus, but you're not going for a rank up. It all depends on your personal goals. And I think it's really important to focus on that. And we can't look at everybody else, because I'm pretty sure pretty much every single person on this team has a similar path, but different goals and different reasons why you're doing it. Okay. And so it's important to not compare yourself to other people, because they've got different goals than you. They've got a different why from you. They've got a different life that they live. They have different things that they're running to or running away from. And it's so important to stay in your lane and focus on you. And so I wanted to share this with you guys tonight, because I've talked to a lot of you this week, and it's really started making me realize that when I first started my business, I had a really hard time with this perspective. And I wanted to kind of share a couple of analogies with you guys, just to help you kind of see what personal development really does for you. And I know for a fact that I see a lot of you talk about doing personal development. I know a lot of you preach personal development, but there is a big difference between saying you're doing it and doing it intentionally every single day. And I'm going to tell you guys, this last year has shifted my perspective so much. And you want to know why? Because I'm reading books like a mad woman right now. I'm reading at least 3 or 4 of them every single month. Okay. And the reason why you're seeing such big shifts on our team, and you're seeing the enrollments come in like crazy right now, is because of the mindset that's flooding through me right now. And I want to share this with you guys so much every single day. I'm sharing the books that I'm reading. I'm sharing the perspective that I'm getting. I'm sharing the voice messages that talk more about this. And it's so important to understand that you will never move forward if you do not grow your mindset. You will stay stuck exactly where you are, and you might advance a little bit, but you'll always go right back to where you were before. And it's because your mindset's pulling you back to your comfort zone again and again and again and again and again. Right. And so there's a difference between saying that you're doing personal development and really intentionally doing personal development every single day, and really getting everything out of it that you need out of it every single day. Okay. So find exactly what sets your heart on fire. What do you want to learn about? What do you want to be better at? What do you want to know more about? What do you believe that you need to do better or be better at in order to go to that next level? And then you need to invest yourself and your time into learning those things. There are so many leaders that I know you guys follow on social media, and just know that they, behind the scenes, they are reading like mad women, just like I'm doing right now. And that is why they are going to that next level. That is why their business is starting to explode, or it already has exploded. This is why their team is working versus your team's not, or whatever. It's because they are reading, they are investing their time into growing. And I want to give you guys this perspective. Okay. When I first started my business, I had a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of life happening. And I'm not saying that life hasn't happened to me since then, because Lord knows that it has. I have had one thing after another after another. Every single year, there's at least 5 big things in my life that take shift, and I have to choose to make a decision to change or shift or pivot or whatever. But when I first started this business, it felt like it was a brick hit in the face. And it was because my dad had a heart attack. And this was someone that I was very close with, obviously. And I was nervous that he was going to pass. I was nervous that his heart surgery wasn't going to work. And he had heart surgery that same exact day. My grandfather passed away shortly after that. Matt and I were fighting nonstop, to the point where, he was filing for full custody on my child. He got granted full custody. I was flipping out, freaking out, because my life was literally over, or I felt like it was over at that point. Bailey was sick nonstop, literally nonstop when I first started this business. It was every single day she was sick with something. Either it was a stomach flu or bathroom problems, or she was sick with a head cold, or something was going on. Okay. And work was crappy. There was a lot of drama. There was a lot of people that were at my work that I absolutely could not stand to be around. There was a lot of people who were bringing me down. A lot of people who were making fun of me. A lot of people who were trying to throw me underneath the bus at work and trying to make it so that I ended up quitting. But in a long run, I ended up getting an ultimatum that I ended up quitting anyways. And so there was just a lot of life that was taking place. And I remember looking at it like it was this gigantic mountain. Okay. A gigantic mountain. I felt like, how am I ever going to get through this? And for 5 full months, when I first started this business, I did nothing in my business. Absolutely nothing, because I looked at these things like they were a mountain. And even though of these things that I, was going through, there was nothing that I could do about them. I still was staying focused on them every single day. Every single day, I was still focusing intentionally on the things that I could not control. I was giving a lot of time to things that I could not do a damn thing about. And so I spent an entire 5 months doing absolutely nothing in the business that could have changed my entire life, because I was focusing on all these things that I couldn't control. How crazy does that sound? But I did it. And within the 5th and 6th month, I started learning what personal development was. Okay. And I'm going to explain this like this. Okay. Every single book that you read, every single podcast that you listen to, every single seminar you listen to, every single person that you listen to that mentors you or teaches you or guides you or sends you the voice messages. How many of you guys love the voice messages that I send you where they're super motivating and I'm telling you constantly, you can do this, you can make this happen? Every single time that I share the perspective, or you get a new perspective from a book or all of those things, it's almost like you're growing 1 inch taller. Okay. Like physically, you're growing 1 inch taller. Just think about this. Hear me out on this. You're growing 1 inch taller every single time. And so every single time a problem arises after you've already grown 1 inch taller, it doesn't look as big as it did before. And I think back to my childhood days like this. Okay. Do you guys remember in the playground, just like raise your hand, okay, or drop a raised hand emoji in the chat if you remember the monkey bars at the playground when you were a kid? And you remember when you were a kid how scary the monkey bars looked. I think about Bailey, and we have monkey bars out back on our clubhouse that we have. Okay. And I think about Bailey being so scared, and she gets so upset because she can't reach them, and she's terrified of falling, and she's terrified of being on those monkey bars. Okay. And when I go to the park with her, she still can't touch. She's still afraid. But now I think about it, and if I were to walk up to it, I can reach my hand up and I can grab those monkey bars, and I could get all the way across those monkey bars without even letting my feet come off of the ground. I have grown so much to the point where I can literally touch those monkey bars, and guess what? They're no longer scary anymore. So think about your personal development and you growing like this. Every single time that you read a book, every single time that you listen to a podcast, every single time that you have a deep conversation that is uncomfortable, whether it be with your mentor, whether it be with your leader, whether it be with Mark Pentecost himself, whether it be with your husband or your friends or whatever, you are growing. And eventually that problem's not going to seem so scary anymore. The mountain looks so big when you're looking at it from the ground. You're terrified to get to the top of that mountain because you don't know how you're going to feel or how you're going to get there or how you're going to move up that mountain. But if you just took one foot and put it in front of the other every single day, and you learn things along the way, maybe you learn things about the nature that's on that mountain. Maybe you learn how to not step on that rock on the mountain, right? Maybe you learn how to place your footing on the mountain. Maybe you learn how to pace yourself so that you can actually get to the mountain quicker, get to the top of it quicker. Maybe you learn all of these things along the way. And the more that you learn, the closer and closer you get to that top of the mountain. Now, there might be some times where you slip and you fall back and you feel like you're in this valley and you're stuck in this valley for a little while. But I promise you that if you keep focusing on the top of that mountain and what it looks like at the top of that mountain, and you just keep putting one foot forward and you keep learning and being open to growing and learning how you get to the top of that mountain, everything's going to eventually change for you. We have to stop focusing on and worrying about these things that are not serving us every single day. We have to stop looking at our problems like they are a mountain. We have to start having a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Life might be like this right now. Life might be hard right now, but it doesn't always have to be hard. And the only thing that's standing in your way is what is going through your mind every single day. I think a lot of us are our own worst enemies at this. We are sitting in our own misery. We are sitting here in our own problems, and we are letting it get the best of us. We are allowing it to overtake our life. We are allowing it to be the center of attention in our life. We are allowing our time to control us instead of the opposite direction. We have to stop doing this. I have to mute everybody. Sorry, guys. Okay, we've got everybody muted. Okay. We have to stop allowing time to tell us where we need to go. We have to start focusing on where we need to be and how we're supposed to get to the top of that mountain. And we have to start focusing on what it's going to look like when we're at the top. And the more that we focus on that intentionally, everything else doesn't matter. It's not going to matter because you're focusing so much on the top that a bear could come out and walk right past you and you wouldn't even notice him. If you're truly focusing on what's at the top of your mountain, it is not going to matter what Joe Schmo said about you. It's not going to matter what your ex-husband said about you. It's not going to matter what is going on in your life, your personal problems, your relationship problems, all the things, because you know that you're tunnel vision and you're focusing on it. That's what Mark Pentecost means when he says you need tunnel vision. You got to focus at what's on top of that mountain, because there's going to be life that's going to hit. And no matter what, every single book that you read, every single thing that you learn in this business and life along your journey, you can take it and you can use it to give you that extra boost. It gives you that little boost of energy to get yourself to the top. Start getting angry at where you're at right now. Start refusing to sink, refusing to stay where you're at. Start getting pissed off that you're still stuck here. And you don't want to be here a year from now. And the more that you start doing that, the more it's going to push you to want to grow, to want to learn, to want to be better. And that growth that you're going to go under just by focusing on the top of that mountain and just by focusing on where you want to go, it's going to excel you and push you to the top of that mountain. And so sometimes I feel like we're sitting around and we're looking at our problems and we're praying to God that like that he just takes our problems away so that we can move forward, right? How many times have you thought to yourself, well, if this just happens, then I can work my business. Or if this just goes away, then I can work my business. Or when this settles down, then I can work my business, right? When my kids stop having soccer or wrestling or cheerleading, well, then I can focus more on my business. When I quit this job, then I can focus more on my business, right? How many of us have said that before? That's us praying to God that he takes our problems away, when we should be praying to God that he makes us stronger every single day, that he pushes us, that he forces us to move, that he closes doors for us to make us realize that we need more. Some of you, God is literally slamming things in your face constantly. Crap is hitting the fan every single day. There's always something going on. And what you don't realize is those are your signs that you're supposed to be taking that say move forward. You are literally being pushed every single day. You're going through hell and back. There is life happening. Your husband's doing this. Your mom is doing that. Your you know what I mean? Your job is treating you like crap. Your friends are ignoring you, right? That is God working in your life, telling you that you need to move. You've got to make a move. You've got to stop sitting. You've got to stop waiting. You've got to stop waiting for something to fall out of the sky and tell you that you're worth it and that you're worthy of it and you can do it. The signs are already there. You're just blindly ignoring them every single day. We got to stop praying and focusing and saying that God's going to remove these things from my life and then I'm going to be able to focus. Those doors that you are wanting to be closed are being closed and slammed shut every single day, and you keep reopening them. You have to shut those doors. You've got to focus on what's at the top of that mountain. You have to focus on what is ahead, where your life is going, where you want it to be. And it's not necessarily on where it's going, it's where you want it to be. Stop allowing time to tell you what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, and start focusing on where you want your time to go. What do you want your life to look like? Start focusing on you. Start focusing on where you're heading. And the more that you do that, and the more that you focus on that, and the more that you grow every single day, the lower that mountain is going to feel. And the problems that you're feeling right now are going to start seeming so small. The people and their gossip around you are not going to feel as big of a problem anymore. You're not even going to bat an eye at something tragic happening. You're not even going to bat an eye at the people that are doing the things that are around you, or the people being mean to you or rude to you, or the things that your mom's doing, or the things that your best friend did, or the thing that your husband did. You're not even going to bat an eye at it. Okay. You have to grow. You've got to push through it. You've got to get through it. Our mindsets are everything. That is where you grow the skill to overcome your problems. It's also where you mature. It's where you become the best version of you. It's where you really start learning what the real problems should be in your life and learning how to fix them, instead of sitting here in these small problems. And here's the thing, is that we're constantly praying to God for bigger things in our life. But I want you to know that God will never bring you to that part of your life that you're wanting until you accomplish and conquer these problems that you're facing right now. Because if you can't even accomplish these, or fight through, or ignore these problems that you got going on right now, how are you supposed to deal with these bigger problems that you're going to have getting up to that next level? Right? I think about this, and I think about the responsibility that I have as a leader. I think about the responsibility that I have working completely from home, being the sole income of our home, right? And I think back to the Chelsea 5 years ago, and how messy I was, and how crazy I was, and how wrapped up in drama I was. The reason why God didn't give me this full functioning, awesome business right when I first started was because I was not mature enough to hold it and keep it. I was not strong enough to say no to things that I needed to say no to in order to run this business. I was not committed enough to hold this business and show up on these Zoom calls every single Wednesday night. I was not a leader yet, and he knew that. And that is why I didn't go diamond within my first month. That's why I didn't go diamond within my first 5 months, because I was not at that level yet. So the only way that God's going to bless you with these things and push you to those limits that you want, or push you to that level that you truly want in your life, is if you grow and you learn how to deal with the problems you've got now. You learn how to understand the things that are going on in your life right now, and how to fix things, and how to stop focusing on things that are not important, how to stop focusing on things that are not going to propel you forward. They are holding you back. So I wanted to come on here tonight, and I wanted to share that with you guys, because I think it's really important. And this literally goes for, maybe some of the drama that's happening in your life. I hear all of it. I see all of it. Okay. Maybe it applies towards you with your time management recently. Maybe your time management just sucks. When I first started, mine did too. And that's why I didn't go diamond then. That's why I didn't make a full-time income. That's why I missed a ton of bonuses when I first started. I had a ton of people walk out on my business. And at the time, I thought to myself, why is this happening to me? Poor me, pity me. Why is my business not taking off? The reason being was because why would God ever bless me with something that I couldn't maintain, that I couldn't keep up, that I couldn't keep? I had to learn how to outgrow who I used to be so that I could start fighting bigger problems. I look at myself, I'm dead serious. I look at myself back 5 years ago, and there is no way I would have been able to keep up the responsibility that I have right now. I would have lost it, and I would have quit. And so maybe that's what's going on in your life too. Maybe you're not to that next level yet because you haven't grown to that level yet. Maybe you're not to that level yet because you haven't overcome your fears, your doubts, your problems that you've got in your life right now. Maybe you haven't matured to that point where you can stop looking at the small stuff and start looking at the big things. Maybe you haven't matured to the point where you're able to help other people fix their problems, because that's what leadership is. It's helping other people fix their problems. It's helping other people grow. It's helping other people learn what to do, right? If you want to make the money that has been on your heart this entire time, your answer is growth. Your answer is to grow in this experience. Start learning, start investing your time into reading, listening to the podcast, understanding that your leaders are telling you the truth. They're telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And the reason why they're doing that is to help you grow, right? Listen to those people who are doing it and who have done it, and you will become that. So I wanted to share that with you guys tonight. I hope that that helps you, and I hope that this was fire for you guys. I love you guys so much, like unconditionally, and I hope that you have a great night.